The last time these two teams played one another was back in 2022. And they had two different head coaches that was coaching the teams at that time. In which when they played one another, the score of that game was 66-24. And I believe you guys got it saying belt behind. Yeah, Deion Sanders decided he wanted to have his Jackson State Tigers football team put belt behind over there, the Grambling State Tigers football team, who was being coached by Hugh Jackson. Now, that game there was out of control. And, I mean, we've seen some things that went on in that game that just left everybody speechless. But I say this. There's two new head coaches that's out there this year. T.C. Taylor, which is going into his second year. And, well, he's not going into it, but he's already in his second year. And Mickey Joesph, who's now the head coach over Grambling State. This is his first year, looking to get that old thing back going on to, as Mickey Joesph said, he's looking to restore order. So we're going to see exactly how all of that plays out in this game between these two teams. Will Grambling State be able to restore order, or will Jackson State come in there and get busy like they did the last time these two teams played? Now, a lot of Jackson State fans out there say, whoa, 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 hold on, coach, before you get to going there now, because it's difficult for Jackson State to play in the hole. Well, guys, we're going to talk about a couple of things the coaches have seen over the past couple of games, especially with these two teams and how things are going to match up right after this. You know, it's your favorite coach back at it again. 10 toes down, about to tell you how it all went down. This is Tomorrow League Sports Network with your host, Coach Walker. If you're new to the channel, please like, share, subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you get all upcoming videos. For all my leaders out there, welcome back. Y'all know the drill. Y'all know the routine. If you haven't done so already, please like, comment, and share these videos, and tap in a friend or two and tell them to come on in. It's nothing but positive vibes. We're just having a good time talking about HBCU sports. And don't forget, you can follow us on all social media platforms. The links are listed down below in the description. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get on in this thing, because I'm like, all right, coach, give us your rundown on this game. Well, I'm going to be honest with you. Let's be real here for a second. Or as y'all like to say, let's keep it 100. Or let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck. Let's go with that one. The last time Miles Crowley, who's now the starting quarterback for the Grambling State Tigers football program, he played Jackson State. He was over at Alabama State University playing in that program. And now Alabama State did fall short against Jackson State in that game, which I believe was 2 years ago? Yes, it was 2 years ago, in which they fell short in that game, in which he's looking to get him a win against Jackson State before he rides up out of Grambling State University and move on to greener pastures as far as what his future holds for him. Pretty daggone good quarterback over there at Grambling State University. I believe he was the preseason preseason offensive player of the year. So he's looking to go ahead and showcase his talents and let everybody know that it wasn't just a fluke as far as with the preseason. He can actually get out here and do the daggone thing when he's on the field. So we're going to see how all of that plays out within this game this upcoming weekend. Now, looking at let's look at the tail of the tape of a few things here. Looking at the offense for Grambling State University, I'm starting with them first. They're definitely going to have to come out here. The offensive line got to make sure that they shore up things and protect their quarterback when he's in the pocket. If that's not going to happen, then I honestly feel that Miles Crowley is going to need to find a way to get out there on the edges. He's going to roll out that pocket and get that ball down the field to his receivers. This is not the game that you want to stand in the pocket like a statue and get beat up all game long. That's not going to work for Grambling State. And guess what? It's going to have them behind often and early. It's going to have them behind early in this game. And I don't think Mickey Joesph and his coaching staff is going to sit back and allow for that to happen. So I'm sure they're going to have a couple of wrinkles that's going to be up their sleeves in this game to try to throw the Jackson State defense off, keeping them from just beeline to their quarterback and just possibly, putting him out this game. Like I stated before, the blocking that I saw last week for Grambling State, I'm just going to be real with you, it was freaking horrendous. I just didn't understand a lot of the things that were going on out there. I didn't know if people didn't understand the assignments that they had as far as who they needed to block or what they needed to do. Or better yet, they was just, getting ran over out there by a couple of those athletes from Texas A&M Commerce that was just getting up in their chest and driving. So that's something that, I want to see how all of that plays out this upcoming weekend. Now, don't get me wrong. Those young men, when they finally dig in and get a little pissed off, they can't open up those gaps, open up those lanes for the Grambling State Tigers running backs to run through. They got two running backs over there that would definitely do damage against anybody that's looking to come out there and think they're going to slow them down. The young men I'm talking about is none other than Trey Bradford and Catravion Hargrove. Now, the one thing that I like about these two young men, not only can they run the ball, but they can catch that thing as well. The Grambling State Tigers receivers, they have some pretty good receivers out there. But to me personally, looking at these two young men coming out of the backfield, catching passes from Miles Crowley is going to be something to watch in this game. Another thing to take advantage of, I think that Mickey Joesph and Coach Dooley may look to do as well, is have both of those young men out there on the field at the same time, where you put one of them possibly in the slot receiver position where you can get you a mismatch out there in case, you know, they got a linebacker out there that might be a little slow. So I don't know if they may do that, but that would be something to consider as well, trying to get mismatch nightmares, because those two running backs definitely have speed. If you're not able to slow them down to keep them from getting around that edge and take off on you, it's going to be a long day for the Jackson State Tigers defensive front and, the defense period that's going to be upset as far as trying to slow this team down with running the ball. They have the athletes. I will not sit here and say that Grambling State does not have athletes on their team, because they do. They're looking to come out there and make something happen. So Jackson State, make sure you keep your head on the swivel when it comes to these two young men running the ball. Now, talking about running back, Jackson State, they're no slouch as well. They have a deep running back room as well. The young men that they got coming out there this week that's going to be looking to tote that rock is going to be J.D. Martin, Ahmad Miller, Irv Mulligan, and Travis Terrell. Those young men are going to come out there. They're going to battle and bruise you, making sure that they let you know, if you don't come with your A game, I'm putting these cleats in your chest and I'm going to run through you. That's just how they playing with it. Like I said before, Grambling State got speed, but they got backs that can run through you as well. But Jackson State, they come to bruise you, and they're gonna bruise you as well as get up that field. Now, the one thing I would say for both running back teams, we got to make sure we keep that ball in check, not putting that ball on the ground, allowing the other team to have opportunities to give their offensive possessions, where put them in position to put points on the board. Now, Grambling State, like I said before, Jackson State with those running backs, they're going to look the ground and pound. So y'all get ready for this game here as far as how everything's going to turn out. Don't get it twisted now. Jackson State definitely has some receivers out there as well. And I think I didn't touch on them yet, but I'll go ahead and talk about them now. Jonas Forteline, that young man is a freaking monster out there when he put that ball out there on the field. He's a big kid. He's got size and he has speed. If the ball is placed properly for him to catch passes, it's going to be lights out. I'm hoping that Grambling State defensive backs, they're not caught peeking in the backfield like they did in the Texas A&M Commerce game, where they're getting caught with their draws down and they daggone kneecaps every time when they look back there. So if they stay on task as far as what they need to do in this game, I think that it's going to be a pretty daggone good chess match from the receiver position. If by chance Jackson State is able to go ahead and get some things cracking, that's what's going to happen at. Again, you got Marvin Landy as well as Isaiah Spencer. You got other athletes out there that's going to be able to make some things happen. Fabian McCray, looking for him to go ahead and have a breakout game as far as what's going on, as well as Logan Mark, looking to see what he's going to do. So again, Jackson State is deep at a lot of positions out there on the field. I'm not, like I said before, this game here is going to be a damn good chess match between these two coaches. But again, quarterback play is going to be key, as well as the back end of each team's defense. Jackson State DBs, they have a tendency of doing that themselves, where they get caught peeking in that backfield. Or when you peek in the backfield, you get hit with a double move and the guy's 10 yards up the field on you. We can't have that this week. If that goes down this week, Miles Crowley's going to put that, he's going to throw a dart out there to one of them receivers, and it's going to be lights out for you as well. Like I said before, one receiver for Grambling State in particular that I did not mention. This young man is head and shoulders above a lot of things that I saw play out in their game last week. Jacoby Belzer. This young man is a receiver for Grambling State, as well as he is a returner for the Grambling State Tigers football program as well. He's looking to make sure he flipped the field for Grambling State to have good field position when it comes to them getting the ball. Same goes with Jackson State, Travis Terrell. He gets some kickoffs. He's going to look to do the same thing. He's going to look to make sure he put the team in position for them to have opportunities for that offense to score quickly out there on the field, and, you know, go ahead, get the defense back out there to shut Grambling down for them to have more opportunities to put points on the board. Jackson State offensive line, they're going to have to do the same thing that they did last week in Southern University. They're going to have to play on their side of the ball, on both the offense and defensive side of the ball. On the defensive side of the ball, they're going to have to make sure they keep their head on the swivel and locate the ball. You got to make sure you locate the ball, because those running backs for Grambling State University, If they find a crease, they're going to hit that gas and they're going to go. And there's going to be a lot of folks out there whiffing. What I call whiffing is you're whiffing at the wind trying to make a tackle when that man is not there. So we're going to see exactly how that plays out as well. Once again, like I said before, I know this is, we're going into week 4 now as far as play, as far as the football season itself. This is going to be week 2 for some in SWAC play, which now is the time we're going to see how everything goes. I believe this game may not be, I don't think this is a conference game, but better yet, it still counts towards like your overall record. So you're going to want to make sure everything is on point, you know, when it comes down to who's going to have the better record, especially if you're talking about head-to-head and things of that nature. So everybody looking to get out there, put their best foot forward this week. State before, both teams got to make sure they hold off on the turnovers. That's going to be key in this game. Grambling State last game had 3 turnovers. Miles Crowley threw 2 interceptions and had 1 fumble. There was 1 fumble that Grambling had last week. They actually fumbled twice. They lost 1. And not only that, but both teams got to make sure that if the other team turns the ball over, you got to find a way to put some points on the board. Can't sit out there this week and have an opportunity where you're deep in there, you know, on their side of the field to score points and not put points on the board. That is something that's something that cannot happen again this week. Both teams, I think, did pretty daggone good. Jackson State got out there last week against Southern University. I think they went 7-15 on 3rd downs. If they have another week like that against Grambling State, this game is going to get away from Grambling real quick, real fast. So the efficiency as far as the teams being able to do what's needed of them to put their team in position to win, that's what's going to be the key this week. I'm going to hold off on my prediction. I'm going to give predictions this week. I didn't give them to you the last couple of weeks. My apologies. Coach trying to get back in the saddle once again with everything we got going on over here. But, hey, guys, like I stated before, make sure you tune in, tap in, tell a friend of a friend to come on in. But until next time, guys, be the one and lead.